We have tried to go to each one of those people and to record their story as a basis for saying your death, your suffering, your anguish matters. Human suffering matters.
And the people who was torturing me didn't ask me forgiveness. They asked the world forgiveness. They didn't come to me personally and shake my hands and say, forgive me. They asked forgiveness to the world on the TV.
During the last 10 years, South Africa has experienced a radical upheaval, from state-sponsored racist apartheid control to democracy. The reconciliation process in the country has been extensive and unlike anything seen anywhere else in the world. However, the horrors of the apartheid years still sit deeply in thousands of South Africans.
Long live the Guguletu G7, long live!
Lukululeko Boysen is one of the country's anonymous freedom fighters. He spent more than 3 years in prison under the apartheid regime.
When I was arrested the night, they hit me, they cracked my shoulder, and I've never been taken to the doctor. And they do everything what they want to do with you in prison. They hit you, you can't complain, nobody know you. The bad, hard thing for me, and the short thing I never ever visit from my own mama and my father of my brothers. The special branch refused it to my family.
Today he works for the Cape Town Action Tours travel company, which takes tourists on a historical journey through what was once a segregated South Africa.
I want to be very honest with you. The history that we share with you today is ours, and the places that we go to is where we live.
We're taking people to the historical places, and we are proud what we are doing to remember those comrades was also part of our fight and our struggle. Don't forget them. Some of the people was asked me how they were dividing people. We used to have the policeman was dealing with the African people with the dompas. In areas like Etlon, they used to drive and walk around. And when you're a little bit dark complexion, then they call you and they take a ball pen and put in your head and say to you, bend. If you bend and that ball pen fall, they say you are a colored. And then they go to the next person of the third one and they see his dark complexion. They take the same ball pen and put it in his head and say to she or he, bend. If you bend and that ball pen don't fall, they say you are an African, you're not allowed to be here in Etlon. They used to have the one was a little bit cruel when they call maybe like I'm dark complexion but I can speak Afrikaans auch very well. Now they have another thing to show you. They just come to you and give you a coin. All right, and give him a coin. Can you see how we accept the money? It's the way you accept the money. When you accept the money with the one hand, they let you go, but you accept the money with two hands. They say African people, they showed you when you accept something with two hands, to them, was like you are an African, but for us, no. It's part of our culture. When your mother or any older person give you something and you take one hand, they say to you, you are rude.
For more than 40 years, the white minority government enforced a brutal state-sponsored racism, during which black South Africans were marginalized and completely without any form of influence. They were neither allowed to vote nor own land. The white upper class lived in the wealthy town centers, whilst the black working class were banished to the townships. Segregation affected many areas of life, schools and transport, and as for sex, mixed marriages were not permitted. The blacks' battle with the white apartheid regime intensified throughout the 70s and 80s. The violent clashes between black demonstrators and white police forces followed an almost fixed pattern. Demonstrations, blacks killed, mass burials, only to be followed by new confrontations. One of the leading opponents was Archbishop Desmond Tutu, who later came to play an important role in the process of reconciliation between black and white.
Does the white South African government think that black people are human, really human? That black people can feel pain, that black people can laugh, that black people are people created in the image of God? I don't think so. You see, yesterday actually God was very good to us. Yesterday God, he gave us a lovely day, man. Lovely sunshine, you know what I mean? And we're going to the beach, you know, we're going to the beach with our children and with our picnic lunches. The people came out in droves to say we are claiming what is ours. But can you really imagine? Have you ever looked at that signboard properly? That signboard says, beach and sea, white. God's sea. I mean, you know, that sea was there long before these people came here. We said, come to our country.
After decades of fighting and thousands of deaths, the white apartheid regime agreed to an historic compromise with the black resistance movement.
I am now in a position to announce that Mr. Nelson Mandela will be released at the Victor Verster prison on Sunday, the 11th of February, at about 3 p.m.
The white minority regime was phased out, segregation stopped, and the country got its first black president, Nelson Mandela.
To establish justice and freedom for all in our country.
The question emerged, what do we do about the past? And there were those, essentially on the side of the former government, who were saying, apartheid's finished, let's forget about it. There's more to be done in the future. So let's move forward, let's forget about the past. Well, of course, those people who suffered most were not able to forget about the past.
Shortly after his inauguration, Nelson Mandela decided that an official Truth and Reconciliation Commission should investigate the past. The commission was led by Archbishop Desmond Tutu.
The Truth and Reconciliation Commission was born as a compromise, whereby you do not ignore the past. Indeed, you take the past and you put it on the table, you put it under the spotlight, you dissect it, you look at it, you understand it. You do everything you can to uncover it, not with a view to prosecution, but rather as a basis for moving forward, as a basis for saying, that's what happened.
The Truth Commission's hearing of the victims of South Africa's civil war saw a number of groups spring up, whose most important task was to heal the terrible wounds of the past. These groups were named Kulumani, meaning speak out.
We were working underground. They took me again and arrested me in the park. When the case was already opened,
for 9 months.
I was jailed for 9 months. No one was allowed to see me and they were looking for me. We are alive just because of him, because we came here for healing.
As in freedom fighters, today they forget even our... Okay, look.
Thank you.